welcome once again. All Takes Valid, episode 96. As always, I go by Trill Trayy. Joined once again with SP21 and Mr. Vick. Vick, why don't you go ahead and do Mr. Pickham's a favor and give him a rundown of today's episode.
Yeah. All right, Spence. So, Mr. Pickham's, as you hold that title from last season, giving the fans an update on how things are going. Obviously, Trayy won week 1.
Tied week 2.
And won again week 2.
Tied
week 2 with
so you're
yours
1-0-1.
So, and you know, yeah, the score. We also had a tiebreaker with the number, and I guess we both picked the same number. Well, actually, Trayy must have copied mine or whatever.
Y'all must have copied each other because I'm telling y'all, at 1 o'clock, y'all start picking it, and then when 4 o'clock before the 4:30, then y'all want to pick y'all numbers.
Nah,
y'all must have been right next. Hey, let's do that. Yeah, let's do that.
Honestly, I've always picked the same number for my tiebreakers through every bet, but I might have to change it up since Trayy.
It's funny. Before we were waiting on you, I actually told Spence that too. That's typically my go-to number 2 for games like that where one team is 35-17 is typically like a good blowout. That's a good range for like a good team and a not so good team. That's typically where it falls into most of the time. But since you're stealing my logic here, it's cool.
I
gotta get creative now.
We tied on that one. So at the moment, to tie, and Trayy has the only win of the season, clearly from
Mr. Pickham's.
Anyways,
thank you. There you go. You said the most important thing you need to say. I have the only win of the season.
All right, so fellas, for this episode 96 for All Takes Valid.
Hey, hold on, don't do that, Spence, because you're saying 2. They're saying it's Derek Carr MVP after 2 weeks, so it happens fast around here. So yes, I'm the only winner this season.
Well,
so that's relevant. It's relevant right now.
And somebody here on this show last week said, "Don't worry, we got the Raiders." Looks like you were another victim of the growing grind.
Spoiler alert. Let's hold that to the conversation. So for right now, again for this episode, we have the recap of week 2's games. So we'll be going over that, followed by our updated week 3 power rankings for this, obviously this week. And then we'll have the Thursday night prediction, which is the Carolina Panthers face off against the Houston Texans, which it will be in Houston. So again, first things first, just going to recap some of the games this past week. Obviously with the Thursday night game, we already talked about that. Washington beat Giants 30-29. For Sunday, we had the Raiders that Spence was talking about, defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers 26-17. The 49ers defeated the Eagles 17-11. The Houston Texans defeated the Cleveland Browns. The Houston Texans got defeated by the Cleveland Browns 31-21. That'd be a weird day if the Houston Texans did beat them. Well, with today's current rosters and whatnot. The Denver Broncos beat the Jags 23-13. New Orleans got spanked by the Carolina Panthers 26-7. The Rams defeated the Colts 27-24. The Buffalo Bills 35 to whoever their opponent was over in the 305 with the goose egg.
I know.
The Patriots defeated the New York Jets 25-6. Bears defeated the Bengals 20-17. Tampa Bay defeated the Falcons 48-25. Cardinals defeated the Vikings 34-33. The Titans defeated the Seahawks in overtime, 33-30. Cowboys beat the Chargers 20-17. The Ravens defeated the Chiefs 36-35. And last but not least, the Green Bay Packers won last night 35-17. So, fellas, first things first, we can talk about whichever game that y'all have highlighted. So, since last week, Spence went first. You can hold that thought, Spence. Trey, what is your game that you were most excited about or that you want to talk about with the fans?
I mean, I don't know if I was excited about it necessarily, but
a game that you want to highlight.
Yeah, let's go to that. Oddly enough, let's go to that Houston game. I want to just go there simply because you see how quick things change in the NFL week to week here. So the narrative about the Green Bay, about the Saints, that switched just that quickly. And the Browns, they were just about Super Bowl bound after they played the Chiefs close. And now if Tyrod doesn't get hurt, they probably lose that game to the Texans. So I don't know what to make of these Browns just yet still. They can be had when you make Baker have to throw the ball and get away from their actual, their game plan. They have a great game plan, to run the ball. They don't make him do too much, kind of how the Titans do Ryan Tannehill. It's kind of similar to that. But if you make him deviate from that, and if you make Baker have to beat you, you see it's not always going to be pretty. But Tyrod got hurt. They finished the game off. They did what they were supposed to do. They beat a team they were supposed to beat. So you can't be mad at that. But I'm still not so sold. Everybody just making it seem like they're just going to run away with my division, and not too sold on that thought just yet.
Okay. Spence?
Well, also with that game, Jarvis Landry also got injured. So we got to see how that offense is going to be now. Now, two of your top receivers is now gone.
Yeah. Well, what's the kid they drafted? Schwartz?
Yeah. Anthony Schwartz.
Yeah. Burner. Yeah. They got multiple tight ends. They could utilize more. And Joku and what's the dude who came over from Atlanta last year?
Hooper?
Yeah, Hooper. I mean, you can still find some targets. Right. I mean, maybe not receivers, but hey, look at Baltimore. It works. You don't need to have wide receivers per se. Tight ends work just fine.
Sure. Well, for me, let's go with Thursday. That was kind of close for comfort, huh, Vick?
Yeah, definitely was.
If he didn't jump off sides, you might only have 3 left. But
I mean,
football gods looked after you once again, man.
Jumping off sides. Heineke throwing that interception definitely made things so much more nerve-wracking. I mean, there's a lot of things in that game where, the Giants definitely self-destructed. But hey, as I said, 12-5, Washington football team.
All right, listen,
Taylor Heineke
coming like this, Vick.
Taylor Heineke.
I don't think we're gonna make it to 12-5.
Taylor Heineke gonna catch fire. Watch. He's gonna bring a new kind of like adrenaline to that whole organization.
I don't know if that's the adrenaline they need right now.
He showed a lot. I think a lot of people were skeptical about Taylor Heineke, but after his performance against the Giants, and the Giants don't have a terrible defense at all by any means. So hopefully that gives him some confidence, and the team as well. The biggest concern I have with the Washington football team right now is the secondary. That wasn't looking good at all, I would say.
Yeah, I don't know who's even out there. Like, I know, it's
Yeah, I know William Jackson the third.
Yeah, wasn't he
he's
with
probably
the? Was he with the Bengals
yeah,
formerly?
he was with the
Yeah.
Bengals. He was the best corner they had out there. And then Kendall Fuller. He was with the Bears last year. He was a pretty good corner, but whew, she was giving up a lot of plays, a lot of plays.
If he only could just catch that pass.
Yeah.
We know what
Yeah.
you know what you want to talk about.
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna be eating that.
Go ahead, do it.
I'm humble about it, but I'm proud of my Ravens. That's all I'll say. Getting that win over the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm just waiting to hear what the next narrative is about Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, especially Lamar Jackson. They've been saying he can't come back from behind, which he's done before, but it's obviously they want to make it, against playoff teams or Patrick Mahomes and et cetera. Every time they put up a narrative, Lamar Jackson, does his thing. He passed the ball pretty well. Obviously, he started off really shaky to where, one ball looks like it sailed. The other one, he basically clearly as clear as day forced that ball into coverage.
I
But at
was
the
gonna
same
say,
time,
that second one, that was horrible.
yeah, that was a horrible decision. He just, yeah. But Ty, that's what he does. He be making plays, interceptions, but regardless, that was a bad decision on Lamar's part. He could have definitely went somewhere else or just held on to the ball and just did something else with it. Again, I was impressed with the Ravens, what they did. I'm not gonna get stoked about it. Too stoked about it. I was stoked at that moment, but I'm not gonna get too crazy because again, this ain't the playoffs. This ain't a Super Bowl. It's just a regular season game. So
Well, we know it's not a Super Bowl because y'all ain't going there. So
well,
unless y'all get tickets.
Hey, to me, this is a momentum builder for all the Ravens fans. Like, you just got to continue to build off of this. It's like, again, it's the regular season. You got to tune,
Yeah, in a couple years, one day you could live your dreams, kids. That's what he's saying.
So I
mean, but it ain't this year. This ain't this year, but
this at the end of the day, this shows that they do bleed too. And just do you think keep just build from this?
We know they bleed. Nobody ever said the Chiefs was unbeatable.
Well, compared for the Ravens, it seemed like it was unbeatable.
Oh well, yeah.
Off the narrative.
Yeah, for y'all, yeah. Yeah, for y'all.
I mean, have the Steelers beat the Chiefs since Patrick Mahomes has been there?
We've only seen them. We haven't played them as many times as you. We've seen them one time. So that's the difference.
Well, the Browns can't say anything, So
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You guys have had multiple cracks. We played him his rookie year, and our defense wasn't the defense we have now just yet. So of course he did what he was gonna do to that defense. Everybody did that to that defense.
But then again, didn't y'all wasn't Alex Smith the quarterback? Because his rookie year he barely played.
No. Mahomes played. Trust me, Mahomes.
Oh, he played that game.
Yeah, yeah. I got to see that up close and personal, and I did not like that. I didn't know it was going to turn into what it was turned into, but I was like, I was like, who the hell is this kid? And no, I don't like this.
The biggest thing, I just want to say is like, I'm glad to see the progression that Lamar Jackson has made. The offense, I mean, I can't explain just how much of a relief it is just to see the route concepts that the Ravens offensive game has now compared to previous years. It's night and day. It's helped out so much. So anyways, I don't want to harp too much on that. Another game that I want to talk about, since y'all have had y'all games that y'all wanted to talk about, was the the Tennessee Titans versus the Seattle Seahawks. That was a wild one. I don't know if y'all watched it, but Seattle was handling their business. It looked like it was going to be Seattle all the way, which I actually picked them for my pick'ems, but the Titans upset me on that. So yeah, I was definitely Seeing that Derrick Henry, dismissed that narrative that, the amount of carries that he's been getting year in and year out. It's been wearing down on him, which that's clearly false because he had another big game, 35 attempts, but it doesn't matter. He still went beast mode. You could just see throughout the game, he just was getting stronger. And yeah, so disappointing the Seattle Seahawks, which they did go down on my power rankings this week. But outside of that, y'all have any other games that y'all want to highlight, talk about?
Well, Spencer, he tried to take a jab at me, so I'm gonna just go.
We all foul today.
Yeah. So the Raiders, they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. They did.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Two things. I'm not shocked here. Only reason I'm not shocked is because literally the last 4 times we played them, they beat us 3 before this. So now 4 out of 5 they beat us. So it's not a shock. Big Ben has a losing record in his career against the Raiders. Usually it's when we go to Oakland at the time. I thought that had something to do with it, but now we lose at home too. So I don't know. It's just something about those teams, the Raiders, they just find a way to give us issues. Now, mind you, I think there's some key things that, injuries played a part in this game, but it is what it is. You got to play who you got. But TJ Watt leaving the game definitely changed everything. Derek Carr even addressed that after the game. He said it got a lot easier once TJ wasn't out there. So, I mean, little stuff like that. But going forward, though, a lot of nagging injuries coming from this game. It's not going to be fun. Already down 5 starters on defense. Ben Roethlisberger is questionable to play, so might have to go with Mason Rudolph.
Dang, not Haskins? I thought he was number 2.
Everybody's saying that, but no, Haskins had his chance to win the number 2 job the last week of preseason. He got to play with the starters, and he did not perform well at all versus the Panthers. They pretty much mauled him and made him look. No, he looked better with the backups than he actually did with the starters, and that's not a good sign. So Mason is the guy, which luckily is the Bengals. Mason should be able to handle the Bengals.
Why'd you look down? You say that.
I'm just saying, I mean,
he's like, Mason's our guy.
He should be able to beat Cincinnati.
Should.
The biggest question I have is, are you going to have TJ Watt? Because I know he has a groin injury, and I know I read a report saying that it's not serious, but growing injuries are never not serious, in my opinion.
Especially how TJ's whole game is set up off of his twitch. So he's not, even if he can play, he's not gonna be the same. He's not. It's gonna look different. It's gonna be off a little bit. So, but maybe it's one of those things where, like presence, you still got to play him if he can go, just because him being out there is gonna make somebody think about something on their offensive line, because their offensive line is not that good.
I think TJ is probably going to miss at least 3 weeks.
The crazy thing is we got 4 TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, Joe Hayden, and Devin Bush. They all have groin injuries.
Yeah.
Bush and Hayden couldn't play the game to begin with the Raiders because they already had their groin injury. And then Highsmith and TJ got theirs during the game. So yeah. And then Deontay Johnson is also questionable with an ankle. Things are falling apart in Pittsburgh. I guess we're getting Baltimore love. But then again, Cleveland is down Jarvis now. So it's just injuries around the league, to be honest. And it's early. So the healthiest team at this point looks like, they're going to be in the best position.
Yeah. Right now, yeah, it's tough. But yeah, the biggest thing I can say about that though, Pittsburgh. I mean, I would rather every team be healthy, not have injuries. That's just, I want no complaints about, oh, this and that person wasn't available. But Pittsburgh, don't rush your players back on the field. Same thing I'm wishing for Baltimore not to do. Don't rush your players back on the field, especially when it comes to those growing injuries, because it may be minor now, but if you rush them back too soon and they make it worse, you're gonna
Yeah.
regret it. So
that's where I'm at with it. If we drop a couple games, but we can get everybody back healthy,
yeah,
I'd rather that versus trying to expect. And it's whatever. You're gonna say it's disrespect to the Bengals, but whatever. I don't care. It's the Bengals. You can rest some people this week. If we can't beat the Bengals, then I don't know. But
definitely, Melvin Ingram's gonna have to earn that paycheck for sure.
He's flashed. He's flashed. We'll see.
But yeah. Outside of that, do y'all have any other games that y'all want to mention?
Buffalo.
Let's just get this over with. Let me just get this over. Let's get this over. Yes, we got skull drag. I get it. We get skull drag. I thought
it was gonna be closer this time.
I don't know. I don't know. It's the Bills. I don't know.
They're the new Patriots. I guess that's what I'm getting from you.
With one goes, another one rise. Why can't we rise?
You know why? Because we don't have the most important position. But we could have that. But we don't want to go get them.
Apparently not.
Again, I love Tua. He might become a superstar. I keep saying this. He potentially will be one. But guess what? Deshaun Watson is one right now. And he's not even in his prime yet. Go get him right now. I don't care how many players or picks they want. Go get him right now. Because you haven't had a quarterback since Dan Marino. Let's be honest. Ryan Tannehill, he made the playoffs, like twice, and that's cool. Yeah. But were you ever really going to win a Super Bowl with Ryan Tannehill? No.
Oh.
So go get a guy. And, there's all this talk about, Mahomes and Lamar and everything, right? Well, a guy who's beat both Mahomes and Lamar? Deshaun Watson has. He also beat the guy who's in Tampa now, Mr. Brady. So, and you want to talk about, well, you're going to get Deshaun Watson and the Dolphins don't have a good line. He's dealt with that in Houston his whole career. They don't have a good line, so he can work with that. Go get him. Do what you got to do to secure. So, because you got a young team right now, you got a top 10 defense, but essentially you're just going to be wasting them players because whether Tua does end up developing or not, we have to wait to see that. It's not like he's going to take that big of a leap this season.
Okay.
That's going to take time.
Now, two things. One, Deshaun Watson, one of my favorite quarterbacks in the league. If he does go to Miami, I think everybody agrees with that, but he would definitely be like, he'll put y'all into contention for sure. Second thing, how do y'all feel from how Tua Tagovailoa was last year compared to this year? Because I feel like he hasn't progressed, he's regressed, in my opinion. I don't feel like he's really had much improvement from his game. Maybe a little bit more so in terms of comfort of his game, but I don't see so much like progression to where he's like trending in the right direction. He's more so going down, in my opinion.
So like mobility and stuff, like you're saying, you can tell that he was hurt last year. He probably shouldn't have played at all last season. But yeah, if you're talking about in terms of play, I haven't really seen it yet where like some of the decision making and everything. Yeah, I don't know, but it's early still. It's week 2.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah. Go get Deshaun Watson. If we keep coming up in the conversation that we're a destination that he would welcome going to, I don't see why we're playing games.
Correct.
You're gonna wait till this season's over and waste it potentially. And again, there's nothing against Tua. I keep saying this, and I just want to bring that home. But when you have a chance to go get a guy like that, you just got to do it. Especially when you haven't had one since 1999. You do it. You do what you got to do.
Hey, Spence, you have something to say?
No, just yeah, I agree. Just get them. It's we're not a very popular destination spot to play football. Everything else, yeah, but when it comes to football, a lot of people just like, yeah, I want to go to Dolphins. So when you have a player of that caliber say that he wants to go to Miami, we gotta jump on this, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree. Tua is I think he's going to be in a superstar level, especially coming from Alabama and how they're able to generate talent. But Deshaun Watson, like,
hey, actually, hold on. I want to touch on that real quick too before we go on the next topic, because I seen Chad Johnson had something to say about the HBCUs and Alabama and everything. And he made up a good point. Name a successful Alabama quarterback.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they produce players. I mean, there's 3 starting quarterbacks right now from Alabama, correct? But are they going to be in the league in 5 years?
It's mostly all quarterbacks usually come from Pacific. Some in Big 12, but mostly it's like Pac and some. I forgot the other one.
Alabama produces running backs.
Yeah. Running backs.
They're RBs.
Line.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So
DB,
I mean, could Tua and Mac and them boys be the difference and be the next great line of quarterbacks to come from there? Maybe, but
yeah,
history says not. So
I'm still on the fence with Hurts. I mean, he's dynamic.
I actually like him more than Tua or Mac Jones right now.
Yeah, for sure. Right now, out of that group, yeah, he's definitely has the most.
Obviously, in college, you would say either Mac Jones probably or Tua before his injury, but just based off what I've seen from them all in the NFL thus far, I definitely would say Jalen Hurts looks the best. But it's early in all their careers. I'm not going to write any of them off yet because sometimes it takes certain people longer to develop, and then sometimes it's situations. Look at my guy Sam Darnold. I kept telling people he's not trash. It's the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
He went from the guy who was seeing ghosts to look at this guy.
Yeah, which speaking of Sam Darnold, and I know we're getting ready to move on to the next subject, but impressive performance by the Carolina Panthers. That is one of Tray's teams that he said that will be somebody to watch out for. That
I went against them.
Yep. And that was a team that I'm pretty sure. No, actually, I went against them too.
Yeah, we all did.
Yeah,
I bought into the hype from that Green Bay team.
Yep.
I should have stuck to my guns.
Exactly. Thinking, it's different now.
No. Same old Winston. He's like that ex-girlfriend,
Yeah, shout out to Brandon. Shout out to Brandon. Just always believing in his man.
Yeah.
I should have known better.
It's gonna be different this time. I changed. And then they show you a little bit of change. So you're like, okay. And then, after a week or two, month, guess what? Right back to the same old stuff. This is why I broke up with you to begin.
Mr. 30 for 30.
You reminded the whole league.
Yep. So, but yeah, with that being said, we can go on to the next topic, and I can give y'all the power ranking, and they'll give you whatever they put together, some list.
All right.